good.
Alright, today is a good day. We've had a lot of stuff delivered. So we've got the closed cell phone delivered, which weighs nothing basically. And we've got some Unistrut as well. So the Unistrut is going to form the roof rack. So it's going to go down the sides of the van. I've also got some Hammerite direct to rust metal paint just to treat it. It doesn't need it, but obviously it's better to have a nice black thing sticking up than a horrible silver thing, which will change colour and probably go a little bit rusty. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with that. Right, so I've only sprayed the outside edge of each one of these because that's the bit that people are going to see. So I've not bothered with the other side, or the underside, or the inside, but I have done the ends as well because obviously that's the area where it will rust. So yeah, hopefully that'll look nice on top of the van. Now I've just got to work out how to fix them because there's no brackets. The last van I had sort of like predetermined brackets where you can put stuff. So on this one, all you've got is these. So I bought some washers for the inside, and I've got some M8 bolts, which I think are slightly bigger, but I can just drill through there, make it a little bit wider. I'd rather it be flush. And then we're going to use some sealant on the top and just put the bolts through and obviously bolt them up. But yeah, unbelievably, the roof is actually 3 meters long, which is exactly the length of those bars. So they are slightly heavy. I hate putting heavy things inside the van, but yeah, it is what it is. Some things just have to be heavy. Right, let's let that dry and move on to the next thing. So what we've also bought is just some cheap ply. It's not super expensive, it's structural ply. So the template that I cut the other day for Amika's floor of her bed can now come out. It's a good fit. Yeah, it can now come out, and I'll use that to trace around this, or trace around that I should say, onto this, and then we will get the jigsaw out, cut it to shape, and then fix that in. And then her floor of her bed is in. What we're then going to do is insulate underneath, because there's a few beams which are 25mm, so the insulation will fit nicely between those two. In fact, let me take this off and I'll show you what I've done. What we've actually done is we've put in 2 cross beams in here, which are not fixed in place yet fully. They are a little bit loose because I'm still working out whether I'm putting some of the headliner back in, because the headliner actually sticks out quite a lot. So what I'm thinking of is just trimming the headliner to the bit that's visual, and then in between here I'll put 25mm insulation, just to keep the heat in the back of the van, and when it's cold from all the glass, that'll stay in the front. So it's going to be cold getting in the van in the mornings and things, but that's fine. We've fitted some brackets here also. They're pretty solid, but they will be, once everything's in place, it'll be rigid, and obviously that little support there will hold the Silex in place. And then I'm going to screw some ply on the bottom and carpet that, so that'll be carpeted in black, along with all around all the panels and stuff as well. So it should all look really nice once it's done. But yeah, I've just got to think and double check that it's going to be strong enough for what I think it is. So I'm pretty sure it is. If not, I might have to put a few more supporting beams in there, but that's not an issue, that's easy enough to do. So yeah, so shelf, roof rack, and then we're going to move on to insulating the ceiling. I've already done the beams, obviously, did that with expanding foam, but we'll put the ceiling in, and then we're going to get the closed cell foam, and basically everything in here that you see that's white will become silver from the closed cell foam. Well, it's black, but it's got silver covering on it. We tape up all the edges, and that also acts as a vapor barrier, so there's none of this plasticky bubbly wrap type stuff that's a load of waste of time anyway. I'll have a proper vapor barrier, but most importantly, it'll all be fully insulated. To here, I've still got to do the trims. This is what I was talking about before, so I need to take these out. I've got some new ones coming today, so I'm going to pop that off over the weekend on the outside, and then because you can see where the water's come down here, so that will get popped off, and all these trims will then come off, and we'll have to seal on the underside of them. I've got to be careful not to break them off. I'm not going to pull them. Yeah, so we're going to do that, and the other thing I want to do, just as a temporary measure, is paint the wheels black as well, but that's probably going to be at a later date. There's no rush for that, so it is what it is. We're getting somewhere, guys. We're starting to make some good progress really quickly. I think what I'll do with these is I'll just turn them over if I can. Let me actually put the camera on them. I'll turn them over so any leaves that are falling off the trees don't actually land on that nicely painted surface, although it is starting to dry pretty quickly. So yeah, you can see on the other side I've not bothered with it. I think people have to be pretty tall to see over the van and that silver edge, and the reason I'm not painting it is because of cost. So that can is nearly empty now. I'd say there's about a third of the can left, and it's 15 quid a can, so yeah, it's quite a lot of money to paint some Unistrut. I reckon it'd probably take 2, maybe 3 cans. That's 45 quid just to paint a bit of metal, so there's no point, you don't have to, so we're not going to bother. We'll keep it at that. Whatever's visual gets treated, whatever isn't, well, it's hidden anyway. So onto the shelf. I just thought I'd say as well, while I'm at it, this thing is a lifesaver, honestly. So the reason we got it is to provide power for the van. It's an all-encompassing piece of kit. I'm going to do a proper video of it very soon, but you'll see it in all my videos, partly because I'm working with Bluetti, but also it's just a great bit of kit. So obviously I can plug into the house and get an extension lead coming across here, but actually it's just as easy to bring this into the van and plug straight into it. So plug it in, turn it on. It takes a few seconds to initialise, doesn't take very long at all. So it's initialising now, and that's it on. So I'm going to turn on the AC, that's it on, make sure the cable's out of the way, and we're good to go. Really, really good, and obviously I've been using this for a few days now, so I'm 96%, so it's great. Right, well, we've made it, it's in, and I've made it slightly big, obviously, so now I've cut it down, the template no longer fits. So what I'm going to do is whip it back out, put the original template back on, draw around it, cut it out, and it should fit. It should. first panel of closed cell foam is in. And it is mega sticky. That is not coming off at all. So that's good, it sticks really well. And you can see why it's got good insulation values on it. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. So I'm going to put a time lapse on now so you can see how difficult it is to put it on, because this paper just keeps shredding. Nightmare. Yeah, so as you can see there, it fits around all the little nooks and crannies. I mean, it's going to take a lot for air to get through that anyway, so in terms of vapour barrier quality, that's going to be pretty good. This fan's going to be so warm. Right then, we're going on the roof. So, I need to clean all of this off in these channels. Same on both sides, but it should come off quite easy. It's only a bit of grime. Right, the roof bars are in. I'm just going to go over that with some sealant just to make sure that it's fully 100% sealed, which would be a bit of a nightmare to get off, but you know what, I'd rather struggle getting it off than have leaks. I'm sure there's a more professional way of doing this, but ain't nothing leaking through that. Right, well, roof rack's in, so I just wanted to explain what I did from the inside. So we've got some M8 bolts which have come through. Now I was going to riv nut it, but I've done it like this, so it doesn't make any difference. It's secure. It's how I did the last roof rack. So that's that. So what I'm working on now is I'm going to try and get the rest of this closed cell foam in on this door. So I'm going to get this door done, then I'm going to finish the shelf, get it all screwed in nice and secure, put a few more supports on there, insulate the bottom of it, and then if I've got enough ply left, I'm going to ply the bottom of it as well, and then that shelf is done, ready for carpeting. Just wanted to quickly show you as well this closed cell foam, what it actually is. So I appreciate the light's probably not great in here, but this is 7mm thick, so it's not very thick at all. It's pretty thin. On one side it's sticky, and it's very sticky, and on the other side obviously it's foiled, so obviously that reflects heat backwards and forwards. Yeah, and quite simply you just pull the backing off, and hopefully it all comes off in one go. It's coming off easier now. When I first got it wasn't, because I think it had been bashed about all the time in transit, and everywhere where there was like a little dent on it, it was just a nightmare to peel off. So it's actually coming off relatively easy now, he says. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull a small amount of it off, just so I can get it into position really. So we'll do the end, and then we'll pull off the top, just so I can line it up. What I'm trying to do is avoid touching it so much, because I don't want it to lose its stickiness. Okay, so I've peeled it off at the top, and I can get that in position now. Right, so we've managed to get it to actually sit behind the seal. Now I don't know how much that's going to affect the door and the seal, but it may not be a good idea because the rain may touch it basically, so I might have to trim it slightly back from there, but still, as long as it's on the inside, that's fine. So I've gone all the way around, and then where the door is, I've obviously got to get to this bit here, so I've left like a little gap, and I'm just going to fill the rest of this area in here with the foam, just to give it that little extra, and I'll probably put it across here as well, just so it's well, as well insulated as we can get it. I mean, that will help with the condensation as well, that'll stop the condensation. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Sorry, it's pretty, ain't much getting through that, let's be honest. So what I'm probably going to have to do is pull all these little clips off here, and then get more of it up here. I'm going to get it right up to this edge, all the way down here, so fill this gap in here as well. But this stuff is fantastic. I can already hear the difference. It feels like it's, I'm not going to say soundproof, but it feels like I can't hear anything on the other side of the metal. So I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with it. It's good. Right, so that's the top two done anyway, so I'll worry about that afterwards. I was hoping to try and get the panels in on the ceiling today, but unfortunately the pins that I'm waiting for haven't arrived. So as soon as the pins come, we can start on that. But yeah, we're working on multiple things at the same time rather than just sitting and having to wait for things. But we're making really good progress now, so I'll tell you what I could do is I could get the foam on here now, get that covered, sort all this mess out here as well. Yeah, get all that covered up, ready for Amika. And I'm even thinking about boxing this in slightly, just so all this mess is kind of boxed off really. There's still enough space on there I reckon I get another couple of years out of Amika on there. She's probably got 20 centimetres spare each side, so it's all good. She's happy with it anyway. And I think I'll get away with closed cell foam on here, just one layer. I might double it up, but according to the R rating of this stuff, it's pretty strong. It's better than the Celotex boards that I've got, so not sure yet, not sure. There's lots of little things that are in the way. There's like that's in the way as well. But when I was talking to Amika, she said, can we not put like a little cupboard here? So maybe we can build something in there that's a little bit more, you know, give her like a little cupboard so she can put like her toys and little things in there out of the way. So who knows? We're just making it up as we go along. I'm surprised she hasn't asked for a flat screen TV in there, to be honest. No, it's going well. It's going well. I just need to get this little door stopper back on here now because I've covered it up and forgot exactly where it goes. It was a good job I've noticed that. All right, next job is to get some closed cell foam. Everything that you see that's bare metal here is going to have the foam attached to it. And then I'm going to work out what I'm going to do with this, whether to insulate it as well or just leave it as it is and just put the foam around it so it makes like a little, I don't know, whatever it makes. But yeah, we're going to try and get the foam on now.